Almost every time the military moves you, it hands you a flat check worth around $3,500. And here is the best part. You keep every dollar of it no matter what your move actually cost. It does not shrink because you packed the truck yourself, and it does not grow because the move was a nightmare. It is a fixed number tied to your rank, and it is genuinely yours. Master Sergeant Duran is here to help us make sure you never miss this one. There is a common belief that this money is tied to receipts, and that belief costs people. Stay with us for the truth.
Here is the shape of it. It is called Dislocation Allowance, DLA, and it exists to cover the 100 small costs of setting up a household in a new place, the deposits, the new curtains, the boxes, the things nobody itemizes. Every move quietly drains a few $1,000s in these little costs, the ones too small and too scattered to ever put on a claim, and DLA exists precisely because the military knows that.
Erica, the beautiful part is how it pays. It is not a reimbursement.
And it is completely separate from the other move money.
And that is what people miss. DLA is not your hotel money, and it is not your travel money. It is its own thing. On a single move, you can collect temporary lodging, travel per diem, and DLA, all three, because they cover three different pieces of the same move. Your travel per diem covers the journey, your temporary lodging covers the gap before you have keys, and DLA covers the settling in. 3 problems, 3 payments, and each one is a separate line you have to actually receive.
So 2 families making the same move could keep very different amounts?
It comes down to rank, dependence, and whether they even knew to expect it, because when it is flat money, the only way to lose it is to not realize it was yours. And that is the quiet tragedy of it, because unlike a benefit you fight for, this one just sits in the system waiting, and the only people who miss it are the ones who never looked.
So here is the question I keep coming back to. Could the military hand you thousands in flat, no-receipt cash on a move, while you assume you have to prove every dollar, flat cash you keep, on nearly every move? There are free guides at military.professorerica.com. Let us look at how it pays, real quick, because this next part matters to you. If any of this is helping, tap that like button, then hit subscribe and ring the bell so the next one finds you. Both are free and take about a second, but they tell the algorithm to show this to one more person who needs it. So how is the amount decided? It is refreshingly simple. 2 inputs.
Erica, your pay grade and your dependent status. That is it.
So a higher rank gets more.
Generally, yes, and having dependents bumps it up, because the assumption is you are setting up a larger household. But notice what is not on that list: your actual expenses. The table does not care whether you moved a studio apartment or a 5-bedroom house. The rate is the rate. That flatness is a feature, not an oversight. It saves the military the cost of auditing thousands of small move claims, and it saves you the headache of saving a receipt for every trash bag and shower curtain.
And that is the part that feels almost too good.
It is genuinely different from most military money. With travel and lodging, you get reimbursed what you spent up to a cap, so being frugal just means a smaller reimbursement. With DLA, being frugal means you pocket the difference, move cheap, keep more, and nobody audits it. So the same discipline that costs you nothing on a reimbursement, hunting for the cheapest option, actually pays you here, because whatever you do not spend of that flat amount simply stays in your account.
So the whole value is just find your rank on the table.
If DLA ignores what your move actually cost, how much can a careful family actually keep? Know your grade and your dependent status. Read the DLA table, and you know to the dollar what is coming before the move even starts.
Master Sergeant Duran is still with us, and now the real 2026 number.
Because flat and simple still means nothing until you see the actual dollars. A phrase like flat allowance is easy to nod at and forget. Put a real figure on the table and suddenly it becomes a number worth walking down to finance to protect.
Take an enlisted member with dependents in 2026, watch what lands, and what you have to prove.
So it is about $3,500 and the receipts column is 0.
Erica, 0. That is the whole point. Around $3,500.
And here is what I would stack on top. That $3,500 is on its own line, separate from your travel per diem and separate from any temporary lodging money. So the same move that reimburses your hotel and your mileage also drops this flat check beside them. People see one deposit and assume that is everything when there are really several.
So the danger is not that they take it, it is that you never notice it is missing.
Exactly. And higher ranks and officers see larger amounts, so an E8 or a captain should not use an enlisted family's number. Pull your own line off the table. The gap between grades is real money, sometimes over $1,000, so a 2-minute look at your own line on the table is worth far more than a guess based on what a buddy told you they got.
So the mistake is assuming your one deposit covered everything.
That is the one. Check that DLA actually posted, because a flat entitlement that silently does not show is the easiest thousands you will ever leave behind. No form to file, no case to make, just a 2-minute glance at a settlement, and yet it is one of the most commonly missed payments in a whole move.
Master Sergeant Duran, thank you. That line, check that it posted, is the thing people most need to hear.
Glad to help.
About $3,500 flat, on top of everything else. Next, how to make sure you actually get it.
So how do you make sure this actually reaches you? It is short because DLA is simple.
First, look up your exact number. Find your pay grade on the current DLA table and read the column that matches your dependent status. Now you know what to expect. That single number becomes your check. If the deposit that hits your account is smaller than it should be, you now have the figure in hand to prove something is missing.
Then, and this is the step that saves it, confirm it actually posted. DLA usually pays automatically with your travel settlement after a move, but automatic systems drop entitlements all the time. A code gets missed, a settlement process is wrong. So look at the settlement and make sure the DLA line is there. Let me lay out the steps. It takes 2 minutes, and it is the difference between quietly losing several $1,000s and catching a clerical gap while it is still easy to fix.
And if it is not there?
Erica, then you go to finance with your orders and ask for it.
So it rewards the person who simply checks their settlement.
Every time, look up your rate, confirm it posted, and chase it if it did not. Do that and a routine move quietly hands you several $1,000s you keep. If this helped you spot money you were owed on a move, like the video and subscribe. It genuinely helps us keep making these. Here is what I want you thinking about after this one. How many moves paid out this flat check while the family never even checked that it landed? Around $3,500 flat on nearly every move if you confirm it posted. Check your settlement after your next PCS. I am Bella, and we will see you in the next one.